Breaking news right now, there is an arrest that has been made in the case of Caleb Wilson incident, the Southern University student who died in an alleged hazing incident.
We do know that Wilson just had a tribute here in New Orleans not too long ago, today and yesterday. This is a case that remains under investigation. Officials tell us that more charges could be pending for this alleged hazing incident. Again, an arrest has been made. There is a news conference scheduled tomorrow to brief the public on the arrest and what's next in the investigation.
Tonight, Whitney, a sad and shocking situation.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that visual set to start here at Pilgrim Baptist Church at 6:30 tonight. Today, though, the university released a statement saying that officials are continuing an internal investigation into the death after reports of what they are calling unsanctioned off-campus activities. A source close to the investigation told our partners at WBRZ that Wilson was punched in the chest before collapsing, potentially while being hazed. Several other pledges we're told were also subjected to the same activity. They also say that the unauthorized fraternity ritual allegedly took place at a warehouse and not at a park, as previously told to authorities, but it is still unclear what happened inside of that warehouse. It appears members were not completely forthcoming about the location when they told investigators that Wilson suddenly collapsed in a park.
Another young life gone too soon, full of potential, stolen away. Another family left with nothing but questions and grief. Another university desperate to cover its tracks. Southern University claims it's investigating this tragedy. But let's be honest, who are they investigating? Themselves? This is the same university that profits from a system built on secrecy and fear, a system that protects the guilty, gaslights the public, and bears the truth under press releases and empty promises. And now they expect us to believe they're taking this seriously. This is Southern Confidential, and we're about to expose the truth they don't want you to know. Now, we're talking about Southern University today, guys, but make no mistake about it. This story isn't just about one school. This happens at colleges and universities all over the nation. And let's be clear, this isn't some random, uncontrollable tragedy. This is a system, a culture, a cancer that thrives in plain sight. And the worst part, the very people leading these institutions, like, your deans, your professors, even law enforcement, know it exists. But instead of stopping it, they call it brotherhood and sisterhood, all in the name of a lifelong secret society, a society where members appear more devoted to the organization than to life itself, allegedly. As it relates to this conversation, guys, everything we say here today is alleged regarding Southern University and Omega Psi Phi, and it's my personal opinion gathered from basically living and knowing what Greek organizations stand for and what they take people through, not to mention news outlets, social media, and all other educational materials that I've read over my lifetime. So it's my opinion, but everything here today is alleged, just for the record. Now, I borrowed a clip from Dr. Rickey, a renowned and respected professor and journalist. Okay, so listen carefully at what he has to say.
We brought you this story this week, and we have more details. Put up the picture full mass. Shocking details emerge in the hazing death of an HBCU student. The initial story regarding Caleb Wilson, a college junior who died after participating in a hazing ritual while pledging the Omega Psi Phi fraternity chapter at Southern University in Baton Rouge, may have been fabricated according to the sources. Put up his picture again. Engineering student. Went to school to solve hard problems, to solve difficult things. He's dead. You know what else is dead? the children that he would have, the family that he would take care of, and the problems that he would solve, the inventions that he would create, dead. So let's talk about it. Classic example. And as a college professor, I deal with it. We know that it's part of culture, but let's be honest. Let's be 100. The rules are there on the campus typically so that the campus will have no liability when it's done. Do you know how many professors and administrators are members of these same organizations, and they are well aware of what's happening on the campus? I know I'm stepping on some toes, bear with me. This is a cultural thing. And so while you have a rule here, you have a culture here. And so how do they get around the rule? Well, they do the rest of it off campus. They do the rest of it off campus, outside of the liability of the university. See, this is a practice. It's not just a one-off. Having one human being die is too damn much. We have many who have died because of these rituals to become a member of said organization, whatever it may be. Now, we have the highlight of one organization, fraternal organization today, but the truth is many of them do this, and some of them are worse offenders than others, and some of them don't do it at all. They literally stop the practice. But when the practice continues, it puts not only the person who's being hazed in danger. We're talking about physical aggressive violence here, okay? I'm not talking about carrying an egg and not dropping it. We're talking about actual aggressive violence. So he's dead, family torn up, all right? Institution has to deal with the public relations dynamic associated with it. And now you may have you could possibly have 9 other young promising men charged with a criminal freaking act because of the culture that's connected to that particular localized organization. I say localized because I understand they operate independently of the whole. So this has to stop. Dear brother, thoughts here.
Okay, so that was Dr. Rashad Rickey. So well said. Now, let's listen to what Rickey Smiley has to say. And he is a lifelong member of the fraternity Omega Psi Phi, a.k.a. the Q Dogs. I think their conversation here is like night and day, but you tell me what you think.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This your boy, Rickey Smiley. Hey, what I'm talking about, this your boy, Rickey Smiley. Y'all don't know who it is. That's crazy. Again, I want everybody to keep the Wilson family lifted up in prayer. I have reached out to the family. I've made connection with the family. I spoke to the young man's father. I spoke to Caleb's father. I talked to Mr. Corey today. And as a dad, as a father who have suffered the same kind of loss, I know exactly how he feels and what he must be feeling and what he's going through and dealing with. And I just, I have a lot of stuff I want to say, but I definitely need everybody to go in prayer and go into a deep prayer to pray for this man, and not only pray for Mr. Corey Wilson and his beautiful wife. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. Until a mother, some parents, they got to go pick out a casket instead of picking out a graduation cap and gown. It's senseless when we send our kids off to college and they don't come home. It's senseless. I reached out to him And I reached out to him, not on behalf of nobody, on behalf of all dads, on behalf of me and the other Mr. Corey, Rich Homie Kwan's dad, and other dads that had to bury a son. On behalf of all of us, I reached out to him and his wife, because I know exactly how they feel and exactly what they're going through. And every butterfly and every piece of anxiety that's going through their body, I know exactly what it feel like. I know what it feel like. I know the butterflies in the stomach and the nightmares and they can't sleep and they can't eat and got to figure this out and got to figure that out. And not only just to grieve your loss, you got to make sure your wife's straight. You got to make sure your other kids are straight and your nieces and your nephews. You got to make sure your mother good. I remember trying to make sure my mama was straight. Make sure that my other kids were straight. I had to put my feelings aside. I know exactly how he feeling and what he going through. I just don't like what's going on with this stuff. I'm sad, I'm hurt, I'm disappointed that I have to be on the phone with to hear somebody's voice that's over there suffering like that. I feel absolutely terrible for this family, and I am mad and I'm upset. So please keep the Wilson family lifted up in prayer. Please. Shout out to everybody that played the trumpet. The young man played trumpet for Southern University. They got a lot in common with the kid. And a lot in common with the dad. Being on the grieving side. Have to bury one of your kids. Man, I tell you, that's something. That's something. I found his number though. I found his number and got in touch with him. I'm glad I was able to talk to him. So, please send them, thank you for that. Send them love, light, and energy. And just keep everybody that's grieving, everybody that's got to walk down the aisle to a casket tomorrow, please keep them lifted up in prayer. Whether it's they lost a mother, whether they lost a niece, a nephew, a child, a grandmother, a relative, or a friend. Everybody that's going through the grief process, please keep them lifted up in prayer. Keep everybody, pray, stay prayed up. We're living in some terrible times, some dangerous times. Dangerous times. Damn. Thank y'all for watching this video. I need y'all to also pray for all of the students at Southern University, and please pray for Southern University's marching band. They have a wonderful marching band, and I'm sure everybody knew that kid.
Okay, so let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about Rickey's response. My personal opinion is it was weak, watered down, a masterclass in saying a whole lot of nothing as it relates to the responsible organization and culture. Yes, he called for the prayers, compassion, and grace. And of course, Caleb's family deserves that. But you know what else they deserve, guys? You want to know what else they deserve, Rickey? They deserve justice, accountability, and the truth. And on that front, Rickey Smiley gets a solid F. in my opinion. So, because this wasn't just a tragedy, it wasn't an accident, Rickey. It wasn't just one bad chapter or a few rogue members. This was a teachable moment, Rickey, a moment to call out a dangerous culture that has destroyed lives, stolen futures, and left families in mourning, all in the name of a secret organization that demands loyalty over humanity. And yet, you stayed silent on the real issue, Rickey. You had the platform to call out Omega Psi Phi and every other organization that allows this to continue, and you chose not to. That's not leadership, Rickey. That's not courage. So, no, Rickey Smiley. Prayers and sympathy aren't enough. This was your moment to speak out, to demand real change, and to break the cycle. And instead, you played it safe. And for that, sir, you get an F. Do better, Rickey. Do better. And I mean this with all sincerity and humility. For the Greek organizations who don't cross these lines, then disregard this message. It's not for you. But we're speaking directly to the organizations or the chapters that allow this egregious behavior that result in injury, both mentally, emotionally, and especially death. So here's the thing, guys. As a community, as a society, as a nation, we have to be done with the lies, done with the excuses, and done watching other young lives get snuffed out because of some pathetic rite of passage. Now, this doesn't stop, guys, until we hold universities and colleges responsible for hazing deaths. Charge every single person involved, from the fraternity members to the university administrators who knew about it and turned a blind eye. Demand independent investigations from law enforcement agencies not connected to Greek life. Because if real justice isn't completed, isn't done, or if there's not real justice, then Caleb Wilson's name will just be another headline until the next time. Southern University, you failed Caleb Wilson. Omega Psi Phi, you failed Caleb Wilson. The entire system failed Caleb Wilson. And unless we speak up, this will happen again. Now, like the video if you are done with the lies and the cover ups, and comment below. Should fraternities and sororities, as well as universities, face criminal charges for hazing deaths? And share the video because Caleb Wilson's name deserves to be remembered, not buried. And to Omega Psi Phi, don't even come for me. I said what I said. You are weak and you guys lack integrity. And if your so-called brotherhood allows hazing, then you've gotten blood on your hands as well. And this is Southern Confidential, and you just got exposed. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Southern Confidential, and I will see you next time.